Hi there, I'm Matt Nicoll. I'm a teacher at St Andrews College in Christchurch and involved with TeachMeetNZ as well, along with Rachel. Right, well, as I said in my first introduction, Matt Nicoll from St Andrews College in Christchurch. We're quite different to HPSS. We're an independent school from year 0 to 13. And basically, one of the things that I'm doing is trying to help. From the earthquakes, there became a need to be able to support the students outside the classroom for the time that we were closed. So what I'm going to talk to you about actually was born from a disaster, our earthquakes in 2011 and 2012. So here goes. In science, as in many of our subjects, we cannot escape the reality that there are key facts, skills, competencies that must be explicitly taught. We also must accept that students will struggle with the pace of learning, be ill, absent for other reasons, or just actually having a bad day. Once the bell rings, your lesson is over, and most often, a lot of the learning from it is over as well, sadly. So how can we help students re-experience at least an aspect of that lesson? What I've experimented with and developed is a way to become rewindable so that students can see some of those moments from those lessons again when it suits them. I was inspired to try this by Kevin Honeycutt during his keynote speech at ULearn in 2012 in Auckland. It is worth watching the whole video, I have to say, and a link is included in this presentation. One of the key messages I got from Kevin was just to use whatever tools and whatever skills you already have at your disposal. So I used a smartphone, I put it in a clamp stand. I was already using Blogger, so I decided to use that, and I decided to try and set up a YouTube account for uploading and sharing videos. I'm now transitioning from Blogger to OneNote, but only because that's what the school I'm at currently uses as its collaboration tool. I've trialled a few different approaches, and now I tend to only film what actually does happen in the lesson rather than filming things prior or afterwards. Students also love filming their own work, which I'm now able to embrace and encourage. Everything we film is uploaded to YouTube and shared on a class blog. There's little point filming parts of your lessons if you're not going to share it and allow students ubiquitous access. My final point about implementation would be to accept that some of it's going to be pretty rough and unprofessional, I suppose. My early ones, even some of my recent ones, are actually quite cringeworthy. I don't mind that though. There's still a lot of learning to be had by uploading and sharing these, both for my students and for me. I did come across some roadblocks as I implemented this innovation. For example, it was not appropriate to use some students' images, so generally now I use them as the ones behind the camera doing the filming. I've done a transition from the smartphone to tablet to tackle video quality issue. I try to keep my videos down to 12 minutes with mixed success, but I do find this quite important. It takes a long time to upload long videos to YouTube, and 12 minutes is long enough for students to stay fully engaged in the lesson when you're teaching. And interruptions will happen. My advice is don't worry about them. You can edit them out or just accept them and press on. Time management was a really tough one for me. I now upload the videos within a lesson and have refined my lesson structure to allow for this. So without adding too much to my workload, there have been some real benefits to filming my teaching and other key moments in my lessons. The key win is that students are able to learn at their own pace, not just on the day that I teach the particular concept. This is most apparent when I'm teaching the skills of things like titration and volumetric analysis to my Year 12s. Happy to talk about that if anyone's got any questions later. And the other real tangible benefits that I find are setting relief that's more meaningful and easier to prepare, and that I'm reflecting on my own teaching of concepts a lot more regularly. Finally, no matter what innovation you're wanting to try with your classes, please take this advice that I've sort of tweaked from Kevin Honeycutt. Don't wait for it to be perfect to get started, just get started. If you wait for it to be perfect, you'll never get off the ground. In fact, be prepared to fail, embrace that failure, and use it to be even more amazing than you already are. And thank you for your time today.